At long last, words cannot possibly describe how happy I am that these are finally a reality. Hey everybody, Zora Catone here. Hi, how you doing? I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend so far. Today, we are going to be doing something a little bit different than what you're used to on this channel. Today, we are going to be trying my very first review. Well, I say first loosely because I've done a few that didn't quite make it to the uploading process due to excuses. But today, we have something very special for you. If you're a Disney fan or Lego fan or both, like me, you'd know that today is quite a very momentous occasion. After years and years of both fandoms trying to get something Disney out of the Lego company, we have finally gotten a blind bag series of 18 minifigures depicting our favorite Disney characters. Disney and Lego have had a pretty extensive partnership, as can be evidenced by the past few years. We've had quite a few franchises get marketed via the Lego company. Whether it was Pirates of the Caribbean or The Lone Ranger, a majority of Jerry Bruckheimer stuff, or even all the way to the Disney Princess sets that we have now. And as great as they are, we still haven't had too many classic focused Disney sets. That is, until now. While I wouldn't necessarily call this a full-on playset, this collection is certainly a big step forward for those of us who have been wanting something like this for a long time now. And while I don't want to toot my own horn, I will say that I'm probably one of those who have wanted this the most because, well, let's just say I've had a few ideas that by now have come into fruition, but we'll get to those later. Right now, let's focus on the actual figures themselves and let's see how cool they really are. And here they are. Ta-da! All displayed semi-nicely for you to see. Now, for some of you who may not be familiar with this particular format of figure, for the past several years, LEGO has been shelving out actually quite an extensive series of individual minifigures that all come in blind bags. They can either be generic or themed. And let me tell you, it's probably not a good idea to leave it up to chance and buy these just randomly. Some of you must be wondering, well, how do you know who's in what bag? Simple. If you're a LEGO aficionado, then you would know that the best way to figure out who's in what bag is to feel around in here and see if you can find any distinguishable parts that would identify the figure that you want or don't want. This particular one is a spare stitch that I'm holding onto for a friend. But you can see he's got these ears that stick up, and his head is quite easy to detect. So, yeah, your fingers are a little bit sore afterwards, but let me tell you, if you're right, it is totally worth it. And as you can see, I spared no expense. But boy, are my fingers tired. So, let's just go these pretty briefly. Again, I say briefly, but we all know this video is probably going to end up being 7 minutes long. I hope not, but let's see where this goes. So, let's start off with the leader of the club, Mr. Mickey Mouse himself. Yes. So, here he is. Mickey's looking rather nice and rather dapper in his signature red shorts. These minifigure series actually do tend to host a brand new collection of new parts. So this series is certainly no exception, and I think, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that this particular series hosts the most new pieces to a LEGO creation in general ever. And to have Disney have that honor, I gotta say, that's pretty impressive. Then again, how else would you get these figures to look as nice? Am I right? So, Mickey's most distinguishable feature is, of course, his head, which is a completely new piece. He's got a little hole there, just in case you want to put, I don't know, like a crown or another hat on him. And he looks pretty good. I was a little worried that some of the more animal figures would look a bit bizarre in this new form, but I gotta say, seeing them up close and personal like this, they look awesome. Way better than I could have ever imagined. Of course, it may be a little bit weird to see, I don't know, maybe their feet so small, seeing how they all have such big shoes or whatever. But you know, I'm not complaining. it looks great nonetheless, and so long as we actually have a piece that depicts Mickey Mouse's actual head, I'm happy, I'm satisfied, bravo. Moving on real quick, next over we have Minnie, who has a pretty similar format. The bow here is detachable, so you can take that out and put it back in whenever you want, because she too also has a hole at the top of her head. These figures actually introduce a new piece, which is the skirt. And I was a little curious as to how they were going to pull this off, but you know, these look absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Isn't she so cute?
Next up, we have Donald Duck. Now, the ducks were a little hard to find, seeing how, while their head shapes are, of course, new molds and pretty easy to find, it's a matter of finding whether or not there was a bow or a hat or anything else that was distinguishable, but thankfully, I was able to find them. It took a while, but I did it. And next up is Daisy Duck, of course. You gotta have the two ducks together, the two lovebirds. And they look pretty great. They've got these new features, which are tails, which sort of give them that kind of pudgy, birdy, feathery-like kind of look, which is honestly really great. I'm probably gonna put some flippers on the bottom of Donald's feet here just to get that real webbed look. Daisy, not so much, because of course she wears high heels. But these two look, they look great. I can't get over how cute these guys are. Moving on real quickly, we have one of my favorite figures duos of this series, Peter Pan and Captain Hook. Now, of course, these guys have got to be a must, because, well, look at them. Who wouldn't want to have a Lego Peter Pan set? Because, look at that. They actually have little sculpted ears and a feather. And, of course, again, most of the head pieces and hair pieces, completely new sculpts, completely new designs. And what's best is they're probably going to be exclusive to these characters only, so that is, that's great. Really going over the accessory count really quickly, Peter has 2 daggers here, golden, ooh, very nice, and Captain Hook, of course, has his golden épée. He looks great. He's got some really shiny gold trim along the coat and the lower leg portion where his breeches would be, so these guys, A+. Lego, well done. A+ all around. Next we have another favorite of mine of the duo. Well, technically they're all my favorite, but these two I did not expect. I was hoping, but boy oh boy did they deliver. We have Alice and the Cheshire Cat. Now, taking a really quick look at Alice, of course she's got a brand new hairpiece. She's got a drink me potion, which is, again, completely new. She's got a little tiny cookie here, which doesn't say eat me, but you know, well, I'll let that slide. It's a cookie. At least they got the accessories right. And then Alice is another one of the characters that introduced the brand new skirt mold, and it looks great. She's got a little bit of back printing there and some printing of the pinafore on her dress, and that looks really great. And look at her. She looks so pretty. And of course, we couldn't have Alice without a Wonderland companion, and in this case, we got the Cheshire Cat. Now, very unexpected, seeing how I didn't think they'd be able to make this work. But if they can make it work in Disneyland Paris, they can certainly make it work in Lego form. Brand new head, new body, and a new tail. I actually don't know how often we've been getting tails recently, but we've been getting more tails in this series, and hey, that's good for me. It looks nice and bushy, and it's a great feature, honestly. That it is such a great feature. I am so glad that they decided to make these two. Well done again, A+ Lego. Moving on, we have Aladdin and the Genie of the Lamp. Just look at these two. They both come with their own individual lamps, so Jafar's gonna have a hard time figuring out which one is the real one. Or maybe they're both real. Who knows? Coming over to Aladdin really quickly, we see a brand new headpiece with his little fez right there. It's a great touch. The printing is really nice, very precise to the film. You even got some, I don't know if you can see that. Focus, camera! You can see tiny little details on both the patch and on his cummerbund. Very, very cool. And then we come on over to the genie, which we've actually gotten 3 genies in the Lego minifigures by now. But this is the genie. Like, it's not a generic genie. It's not I Dream of Genie. It's the genie. And honestly, what other genie would you want? Sorry, Barbara Eden. Coming around, you can see they've got some really nice gold decals on the cuffs and on his cummerbund. Down here on the tail, and this is also a brand new piece. Not only do you get the ears, but you get a bald head, which you can also take out his tiny little hair. I'm not going to do it right now, but look at that. Look at that expression on his face. If that doesn't sum up the character perfectly, I don't know what does. My only hope is that maybe next wave, if there is one, we can get a Jasmine or maybe even a Goofy to go along with this Fab 4. I don't know, but we'll get to the requests a little bit later. Just a second. Bravo on the Agrabah figures, guys. That's going to make a nice companion to my Jasmine figurine downstairs. Coming over to the Little Mermaid, we have Ariel and Ursula. Now, Ariel, we have seen plenty of mermaids before, but this... Let's face it, whenever we think mermaid, we think Ariel, and I gotta say, they did a great job with her. This, if I'm not mistaken, is the 3rd Lego incarnation of Ariel. We've got the Duplo version, we've got the Lego mini doll version to go with the princess sets, and then we have this lovely version, which she comes with another brand new hairpiece. Looks really, really good. She comes with a jewel and a clam. And honestly, what more do you need? I think I might have accidentally picked one up that has a little bit of a crack in the front of the tail, but that's okay. You know, honestly, I'm just glad to finally have her as a proper minifigure. Not that I don't love the mini dolls, of course. Moving on to Ursula, we have, yet again, a brand new lower half. We have actually gotten cephalopod bottoms before, but this, of course, is specific to Ursula. Like, she deserves to have her own new piece, and honestly, I'm so glad that they made official one, because the one I made is not good at all. She has a really nice wicked expression. I can hear Pat Carroll chuckling cruelly, so that's when you know that you've captured the character right. She's got some really nice silver strands on her hair here, and of course, she's got the trident! Let's hope she doesn't get the crown and grow big and scary. But there they are, the 2 Little Mermaid figures, and again, A+. A+ all around on the entire series. I'm just gonna put that out there right now, but I'm just gonna really stretch that. And then, coming here, we have Experiment 6-2 Stitch, aka Stitch. Now, looking at Stitch, again, I was kind of hoping they would make one, and they did, and this actually came... I cannot describe how perfect this is, because this looks right out of my imagination. Like, they got it. Like, they nailed this figure. His head is, again, completely new, and this is probably the easiest way to tell he's in the bag. And coming down, he's got some really tiny printing on his feet just to symbolize the claws. They didn't do that with his hands, obviously. But on the back, we do have where his spikes would go and his tiny little tail. But he looks great. Honestly, even if you're not if you're not going to get the whole series, at least pick up Stitch, because this is one cool figure. I can tell the one that I set aside, my friend is going to love this. Like, love this. Coming down over, we have Maleficent, the mistress of all evil, and thankfully, it is the good one. Classic animated one. There we go. And coming in, just zooming in, I don't know if you can see that, but she's got that really, really pale green tint to her skin. Looks absolutely fantastic. New hairpiece, and it's almost sort of rubbery, but very sturdy, and fits on like a glove. New cape pieces, which are both black and purple, and then we have some lovely printing down on her robes and her scepter. I don't know why it's yellow. This really should be green, but whatever. Awesome figure all around. I cannot wait to put this in my park. Oh, wait. We can't talk about that just yet. Moving on, talking about incredible, we have Mr. Incredible and Syndrome. Fix your hair. Syndrome! Now, looking briefly at Mr. Incredible, my god, he's gotten fat. We have a new hairpiece, and he's got this lovely printed tablet piece of the Glory Days poster. It says, "Doing our part." And you've got his mask, and you've got the insignia, and you've got the super suit. Looks great. They even painted the gloves coming up to the elbow, which is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Then we come around to Syndrome, and he looks a little bit different. I think, aside from the other characters like the Fab Four, he's one of the only ones that actually have different colored eyes. And that's really interesting to me, because I wonder why they didn't do that with other characters, say for like, I don't know, Alice or Ariel, because they've got beautiful baby blues, and Syndrome, of course, we all know, has those piercing eyes when he gazes at us, very intimidating, ooh, scary. And of course you've got the big S there, not BS, just the S, and then we've got the Omnidroid plans. I wonder if it would be possible to see an actual Omnidroid play set or building thing to come out of LEGO fairly soon. Hairpiece, almost, actually, yeah, that is completely new. And of course, they even got some of his freckles. I don't know if you can see that, but they got the freckles and the cleft in his chin. He's smiling deviously. I really hope that Brad Bird got a copy of these, because honestly, I think he'd love them. These are fantastic. And aside from the two that you can clearly see behind me, there's not too much Pixar going on here. And, you know, of course, you want to have a nice balance, and the classics are very, very much present. But I'm hoping that if they do another wave, that we might get a little bit more Pixar. I don't know, seeing how that'd be a little bit difficult, but I don't know. Maybe you could do Carl Fredricksen or some of the other humanoid characters. I don't know. But lastly, but certainly not leastly, oops, we have the Toy Story Pizza Planet alien and Buzz Lightyear. Now, for those of you who may not know, we actually did have previous incarnations of these two figures when back in 2010 when they did the Toy Story 3 sets. Now you can see the originals here. Whoa! No, Buzz, don't fall out the window! You can see the originals here and the new ones here. Now, as you can plainly see, there have been some upgrades either to parts or to paint jobs, especially with the little green man here. But with Buzz, it's actually curious that they should go ahead and design a brand new head. I lost the helmet, both parts, and I think LEGO took that into knowledge when they designed this particular figure to only have half of the helmet, which is a smart idea, but watch a whole bunch of other people, including me, go ahead and lose that just the same. But it still looks great. It still embodies the character perfectly. I'm still surprised that they could get away with a figure like this, and I'm wondering if they might redo Woody as well if they do another wave. That would certainly be interesting, but a Zurg would be really great, thank you. But just a really quick... Oh, well, that's not quick at all. I'm looking at the time here. We're over 16 minutes already. Hoo-wee! Well, I'm just aware of time here, and I've probably already talked your ear off already, but I really wanted to show you just how close my predictions of these figures really came. So why don't we just do a quick zoom over and then we'll finish this up, okay? I'll let you be the judge as to whether or not I'm very good at drawing Lego. No, I'm not. But just keep in mind, I drew these way back in grade 9, and to see these actually come into fruition is a dream come true. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but I gotta say, judging by the final product, I wasn't too far off, if I may say so myself. And honestly, these guys look way better than I could ever imagine, and I am so glad that they are now a reality. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Those are all 18 of the LEGO Disney minifigures Wave 1. And, you know, hopefully, if sales do well, and you know they will, we might just get a second or third wave. Who knows? We might get lucky, but only time will tell. And if we do get those waves, let me know down in the comments below who you would like to see in those waves, and if you would want to pick any of these up, who would it be? Or would you want to get all of them? that's cool too. That'd be really great, actually. I highly recommend these if you're a Disney collector or a Lego collector or both. Even if you have specific ones in mind, these are definitely a must-have. But they can get pretty pricey, so don't base it all on luck. Let me know if you would need some help. Hopefully this little review might have given you some insight as to how you would find those figures. But enough of my rambling, guys. Why don't we end this video off with finally putting these long-awaited figures into their new home. There. That looks better already. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this really long video. If you like what you saw, please do give it a thumbs up, and if you're not already, please do feel free to subscribe if you so wish. And how did I do for this review? Usually the others that I have not uploaded are much shorter, but if you like this review, then please do let me know, and if you want to see more, then I would be happy to do more, provided I can find something to do more about. Until then, please do feel free to follow me on the social media sites displayed below, and as always, keep a weather eye on the horizon for more sights and surprises coming from yours truly. Until then, and every time after that, I am Zora, and I'll be seeing you real soon. Bye!